temperatures in the middle of December. Some 80s here today in Los Angeles, but this isn't just it. We're going to see more of this warmth coming up. We'll let you know how long for in your first alert weather. For a little bit, just because those temperatures were so much warmer than average. And if you liked it, well, that's what we're going to see here over the next few days. Looking at Riverside, it's going to get pretty warm out there, about 85 for tomorrow, and even warmer on Wednesday, which is going to be the peak of our warmth here at 87. Going down to about 85 on Thursday, so between now and Thursday, that'll be our warmest spread of temperatures, and then we start to cool down even more as we head to the weekend, with temperatures coming back down to those upper 70s. So overall, a mild week. Quiet conditions. We do have some weak offshore winds, and that's what's allowing these temperatures to climb, as well as a averted high pressure. So again, it does not feel like December at all. We've got temperatures in Riverside about 10 degrees warmer here today, 8 degrees warmer in the valleys, with 7-degree warm up in Los Angeles at this time. We're going to stay nice and calm through the evening and no major changes. Now, I do want to tell you that because we've got a ridge of high pressure and very quiet conditions and not a lot of wind movement, we are going to be seeing the air quality go down again. So the possibility of seeing that west of the mountains, once again, another air quality alert. This is from tonight at midnight through tomorrow night at midnight. So no burning wood, nothing that'll add to the pollution, especially for those lower elevations, because we don't want to be inhaling any of this, especially because the ozone gets cooked up with this type of heat. Remember, inland up to about 85, 87 for some of those days. Now, looking at your weather headline, those weak offshore winds are helping out, as well as that big ridge of high pressure keeping us dry. Warmer than average temperatures for winter. That continues all the way till we get to the end of the week. So several days worth in the 70s and 80s. And then we get to Thursday and into the weekend. And then we slowly start to cool things down as we head to your Saturday, Sunday. And the reason is because this high is eventually going to move. But look at how it slowly makes its way off east. And that's going to push any storm that tries to approach up to the north. So the Pacific Northwest and Canada and the northern half of our country pretty busy while we're those storms away. So lots of sunshine to continue. Very warm day with 80s in Los Angeles. Orange County temperatures in the upper 80s here, with low to 80s to upper 80s for some in the valleys. 80s for you in the valleys in the San Fernando Valley. And then we've got the 60s and 70s for the high desert in Victorville and Lancaster here tomorrow. A warm day in Big Bear at 63 after a very chilly morning start. So looking at that 7-day forecast for you, a couple days of heat. We've got 80s in Los Angeles, some 70s to follow Thursday, Friday. Then the weekend comes and we start to bring things slowly down to the 70s, but still stay very pleasant. Some low 70s all the way through Hanukkah and Monday, which is still above average. We should be in the mid to upper 60s during this time of year, and we're in the 70s and 80s for you in the valleys and Inland Empire. So things really warm here over the next few days. Have any plans to, again, enjoy the outdoors? Just know that we may have some air quality concerns. We'll be watching that for you. Weekend much cooler. Same thing for the deserts. Very light winds and no concerns here for this week. Mountains looking great as well. 60s for now, and then some 50s as we head to next week. All right, everybody, that's been a look at your forecast. We're going to take a break and return right after this. Carolyn, look at how warm it was in downtown LA, about 82 degrees here today. IE temperatures in the low 80s as well, with Ontario and Riverside at 83 degrees each. And at the beaches, we had 77 degrees at LAX. It's December, and it did not feel like that. We're at least 10 to 15 degrees warmer than average. Typically should be in the 60s, but that was not the case today, and it's not going to be the case tomorrow, and actually for several days. We'll get to the details on why here in a second. But looking outside, 50s and 60s right now, things cooled down, so we at least get a break from the heat. And then we start it all over again tomorrow, because check it out. We've got clear skies here all the way through the night. Los Angeles staying nice and clear as we head to those overnight hours. Temperatures in the 50s, then warming to the 60s, then the 70s as we head to mid-morning. And into the afternoon, we've got some 80s coming our way for certain areas in Southern California. The lower end of the 80s on repeat. Now, notice those winds. They are going to be very light, but we've got an offshore wind coming through those passes and canyons. That's why these temperatures have been able to warm up. And we've got a big ridge of high pressure blocking any storms that want to come our way. So for now, we're looking at very calm, dry weather without a chance of rain for the next few days. And what that's going to do is allow those temperatures to stay warm. So I'll get to the details on how warm your neighborhood will stay here for the next few days in your 7-day forecast. All that and more on the way. Back to you.
All right, Shanna.
More warmth, more December warmth. Does not feel like winter at all, because check out these numbers here. We're looking live at Ontario at the airport right now, and it's nice and clear. And today was warm, but we're going to be even warmer here over the next few days. 83 for tomorrow. Peak heat will be on Wednesday for a lot of locations, so about 85 expected in the IE on Wednesday. And then Thursday still warm before we start cooling down ever so slightly into the weekend. overall, we are still above average. We should be in the 60s. So all these numbers here are very mild for Southern California weather here in December. All right, let's get to it. We were warmer here today, and we're still warmer here tonight. So mild evening in Van Nuys, about 16 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. West of the mountains, everyone has a warm up. And the reason is because we have some weak offshore winds coming through those typical passes and canyons, compressing on the other side of the hill and keeping us very mild. So today, one of those days, we got another one coming tomorrow. And like I mentioned, Wednesday being the peak heat of the week. Now, air quality alert also going to happen. This starts at midnight tonight. So we're about 40 minutes away from this beginning, lasting till midnight tomorrow. No burning of wood, pellets, anything outdoors or indoors, because that'll add to pollution west of the mountains. And without a lot of wind, we aren't going to get that pollution to move much of anywhere else. So it'll get trapped close to the ground. Worst times would be overnight and into the morning. Really don't want to inhale any of that. So let's do our part and keep the pollution low. All right, weak offshore winds continue with those Santa Anas. Again, some of us not even noticing much of the wind because it's going to be just dry and warm. This winter weather is going to take us to the 70s and 80s for the next few days. Like we mentioned, most of even those beach communities in Orange County might even see some upper 70s to 80s on the way. And then this weekend, we'll start to see things cool down a bit, back to those 70s, still above average as we head to your weekend. Now, ridge of high pressure is responsible going up to the north, so we don't get much of anything all the way through the weekend, with the exception of some onshore flow and some clouds as we head to the weekend there Saturday, Sunday. No rain, not a major cool down, but we'll definitely see things cool down a tad from those 80s to those 70s. So more sunshine tomorrow, warm temperatures, 80s for you in Los Angeles, about 83, Van Nuys 85. Inland Empire temperatures low 80s in San Bernardino, Riverside, with West Covina at 84. In Ventura County, look for those low 80s from Thousand Oaks. In Oxnard, 60s and 70s for the deserts. Okay, walking you forward to those 70s forecast. We're going to slowly cool it down day by day. But first, we're going to get that peak heat on Wednesday with 84 on the way for Los Angeles. For the weekend, we're going to come down to those low 70s and still stay above average. So it is looking very quiet this week and mild every day. The valley spots, 85 here as we head to Wednesday, Thursday, low 80s, 70s to come here as we head to Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Hanukkah is coming our way here this weekend, and temperatures still very mild everywhere from the coast of the basin and even in the deserts. Low 70s to upper 60s on the way here in the next few days for you there. And for the mountains, 60s and 50s. No complaints, no umbrellas for now, unless you use it for the sun. All right, that's a look at your forecast, everyone. Over to Mario with the Check of Sports. Hi, Mario.